Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com, and this will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, August 27th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are somebody that uses technical analysis within your decision-making process as a trader, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about the tool of technical analysis and how it can be used to make good decisions, then this will be a video for you. Also, real quick before I get started, just want to personally invite you to sign up for this free live class that I'm offering. So if you enjoy what you hear as I go through the content and you want to learn more about charts and how they can be used to build consistency, then like I said, I want you to get signed up for this class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at claytrader.com, then there's an area on the webpage that you can click on. But I should also note that I realize this could be a little last minute for you. So if it is last minute, or who knows, maybe you're watching this Friday morning and the class has already happened, drop me an email and I can send you a recording of it if you want. Just Clay at claytrader.com. Again, CLAY, Clay at claytrader.com. And I'd be happy to email you a recording of the class itself if you're not able to make it. But yeah, if you can make it live, then I want to personally invite you to get signed up. First stock here, ticker symbol AMC. And as I'm sure you're well aware of, AMC, GME, which will be coming soon, have been very talked about. Although AMC showing some weakness here. Now, when I say that, I don't mean it in the sense of the chart is now totally destroyed and it's the end of the world. But, you know, it has pulled back quite a bit. And the main part of the pullback that stands out, and again, this is not some sort of great discovery on my part, is that the price is actually now down below that purple line there, the very well-known, the very famous 50 period moving average. I should also note these are 30-minute charts that I'll be using, meaning each one of these, as they're called, candlesticks, represents 30 minutes worth of time. But like I said, the price is now broken down below that area. And as any technical trader will tell you, doesn't mean the end of the world. No, of course not. But is it something that, okay, needs to be watched? Yeah, absolutely. But the next level here to keep an eye on very closely that, could very well be getting ready to come into play is this former breakout point right down there around the $38 mark. So $38 is going to be an important level if this drift continues. If the price were to drop below 38, at that point, things start to look a whole lot more shaky, but I'm not going to go any further than that just because, to be fair, the price isn't anywhere close to 38, but that is certainly going to be a very important level, at least in my opinion, that would need to hold strong if it gets tested. But for all we know, maybe AMC is getting ready to turn itself around and head right back up, which is always a possibility too. So you're going to want to keep a close eye on that. And then as far as areas of resistance are concerned, the main level here that now stands out is just going to be this overall trend line right there. So from a trend line standpoint, you can see that this level here is doing a good job of kind of illustrating that, yeah, there has been some selling pressure that's shown up. But I do understand that just saying selling pressure, that's just words, right? That's just a phrase. But that is why I like technical charts, is because they allow you to take words, take phrases, and make them very visual. So when I say selling pressure, that's what I mean. It's all about that trend line right there. So if the price can work its way up there and get the break up through the trend line, then that does suggest that, okay, maybe, just maybe, the selling pressure is finally gone, or maybe it's just finally been wiped away. So keep an eye on that trend line right there from the resistance side of things. But yeah, today, not the greatest day, but still one more day left on Friday. Next one here, ticker symbol RIDE. Absolutely monster one today, especially from the volume standpoint, and did get the pullback here. Now, what's interesting about this is, this could be, and it could go either way. So that's why risk management is so important. But the good news here is that you don't have to worry about, okay, am I chasing the price? Am I suffering from FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. Now, the people that bought right there, yeah, they were suffering from FOMO. They're not probably feeling too good right now. But assuming you're still just observing this from the sidelines, then you've gotten a big pullback. So at this point, it's not like you're chasing the price. You would just be buying a pullback. And it's just a question of, okay, do you still believe in the pullback? And the level here that stands out to me as being a very important level now moving forward is right here at $6.30. And the reason why 6.30 isn't so important is because if that were to fail, then really the next level of support is not until that former breakout area down there around 580. Now, I'm not saying the price would drop straight down to that area. I'm just saying you have this kind of miniature no man's land here. And from a trade plan perspective, and putting together a rational and logical approach, it's hard to do that when prices enter into kind of these no man areas. And that's what that first green line is representing. So those will be the two key levels of support. But if this is just a healthy consolidation, the price starts to work its way back upwards, the first key level of resistance that stands out to me that needs to be broken right there at $6.75. And then in my mind, the level that could really start to generate just that much more strength is if the price could then push up there through the $7 mark. So keep an eye on there, and a good high volume break of 7. Again, no guarantees, but is it at least a valid, is it at least a rational possibility? I think so, that if the price can get a high volume break of both these areas of resistance, then getting up to 750, if not even higher than that, seems to be a plausible outcome of that. Again, not guaranteed, but is it at least a rational thought process? Yeah, in my mind it is. So keep your eye on these levels, and let's see if this one has, if this is, like I said, a healthy pullback. Who knows? Maybe this is the start of something much deeper, but that's why those risk management procedures exist. Next one here, ticker symbol ZOM, and been doing this one over the past couple of days, and this thing just keeps on putting in those higher highs and higher lows. So from a trend building perspective, that's exactly what you want to see. And once again, today we have new highs, new lows, so want to get things updated and keep it updated. So one of the newest areas of support, and now what I would call the ideal level moving forward, right there at 65 cents. Ideal meaning, hey, Clay, what's going to make this chart look the absolute best, strongest moving forward if the price can stay above 65. Now, if the price drops below 65, that's not the end of the world. That doesn't mean that the chart's ruined. But what would make it look the best? Certainly staying above that area. But from the overarching standpoint, main area to watch is going to be all about the purple line there, 50-period moving average. So as the name implies, that line is going to continue to move itself higher and higher. So this is basically like a trend line that's going to draw itself for you. So in other words, as long as the price stays above that trend line, which is an uptrending trend line, well, then that does mean that the overall price is still in an uptrend. So watch that for more of the overall sense. In terms of resistance areas and breakout points that I think matter the most right now, 73 cents seems to be that near-term level. I realize that the price did spike up to that area, but after that, you can see just struggled with 73 there, struggled with 73 once again right there. So that'll be that near-term level of resistance. But overall, the trend continues. Next one here, ticker symbol SPRT. I think I've done this one every day this week in the top 10, but what a monster it continues to be. It continues to put in higher highs, higher lows. So for those of you that saw the video that I did on this one back on Monday and you played it, the price is sure sitting a lot higher than what it was. But overall, needless to say, updates definitely need to be made, especially look at the latter part of the day. Once again, each one of these represents 30 minutes. So each one of these volume bars represents 30 minutes. And I bring that up because check out the final two 30-minute sessions of the day there, or in other words, the final hour of the day. Huge volume, biggest volume all day, so the trend continues. So some of the newest levels of support to map out going to be right here at $17.50. If I were to play this one, and am I looking to buy up there? In my opinion, that could be chasing, that could be suffering from FOMO. But who knows? Maybe that's foolish. Maybe you should be buying there because this thing's going to keep on going upwards. But hey, charts are not a crystal ball. No one has a crystal ball. Nothing tells the future. In my opinion, though, because this one has shown it does like to pull back. I mean, right there is a pullback. 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 So to just buy right here, I think there could be some sort of pullback, which is what makes that area very interesting at $17.50. So watch that if there is any sort of pullback. But as far as areas of resistance are concerned, it's basically in blue sky breakout territory. There is a little resistance up there at 20 because that's where the price just stopped today. But I'm going to change that to the color of the sky to represent $20 indeed being that blue sky breakout mark moving forward. So we'll see what happens with it. But at the end of the day, it's been all higher lows and higher highs. And that's how those uptrends are constructed. Next one here, ticker symbol GME. Now, the interesting part here is that usually GME and AMC mimic each other, but AMC, as you already saw, had a much rougher day than AMC. And GME has a very, very established level. And when I draw this line, I assure you, I'm not trying to come across like this is some sort of special talent, like this is a great discovery. I assure you that people that use charts, understand charts, have noticed that area right there at $217 as it was once again the rejection point here. And I say all of that because when lots and lots of people around the world are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can create some very dynamic movements. So while nothing is guaranteed, my core point here and why I love charts is they help you to make good, rational decisions. And it is totally rational to think that if the price gets up to 217 and can break up through it, that break in and of itself could really create quite a bit of upside buying pressure. So will that happen? Nobody knows that. But if it does happen, like I said, it's definitely a rational thought to have, especially then when you factor in this next part of the pattern, that it does also have a nice uptrending trend line here. So let me change this to green to represent more of the bullish part of the pattern here. But overall, a very solid, and let me just draw this in one color, but what we would call a nice bull pennant pattern. So I'll put the golf hole down there for visual sake. So a bull pennant on GME, and all eyes around the world going to be watching that 217 mark. So let's see if the bulls can get the break of that or not. Next one here, ticker symbol GSMG. And I was not thinking of doing this one. And then all of a sudden, again, these are 30-minute candles. So the last 30-minute happened, and check out that. Big green candle, nice return of volume, and it still hasn't broken out yet. So it's a situation where, okay, the line has been drawn in the sand right up there at $2.40. That is essentially where it was, rejected earlier on in the morning, rejected during the last 30 minutes. So that's where the big question mark comes into play. Is this final 30 minutes some sort of leading indicator of, hey, there is a breakout that's going to take place? Once more, and I don't mean to repeat myself, but I want to really drive this home. There's no such thing as a guarantee. So nobody can sit here and say, oh yeah, 240 is guaranteed to be broken. I'm not saying that at all. My point here is that given the story that the chart's telling us, it's at least a rational decision to think, okay, maybe 240 is getting ready to be tested and broken. And if it can be broken, then same with GME. Call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. Any sort of break could create quite a bit of upwards buying pressure. So 240 definitely going to be that main area of resistance. As far as support is concerned, key level to watch overall going to be right down there around the 205 mark. But like I said, in my mind, the most interesting dynamic here is because of that final 30-minute surge, because it was once again hiding, right below this 240 mark. So let's see if the price can eventually get that break. Next one here, ticker symbol VEON, and I like this one for a couple reasons. First off, it's just in a very clear overall uptrend. You can either draw trend lines like that to see the upwards channel. If you don't like to do that, you can just look at the 50-period moving average. That purple line there got a very clear upward slope to it. So there's a lot of good things going on with it. And then also, by no means is anybody chasing, right? The people that chase bought right there because the price has pulled back and just consolidated, which has now created a nice little pattern here within the overall uptrend. And the key part of that pattern right there, we'll call it right around the 204-ish, 203 level. And then as far as the support part of the pattern, in my mind, it all resides right there at the $1.93 mark. So in order to better make this easier to see, let's just make this the same color. So we have the resistance, we have the support, we have the big movement there. So from a pattern perspective, we have a nice little bull flag pattern here. So, that's going to be the big dynamic. And, good to see that the volume dropped off here quite a bit during the consolidation, which from any volume analysis standpoint will tell you is exactly what you want to see. So moving forward now, it's just simply a question of who is ultimately going to win out. Are the bulls going to win out with a break to the upside? Are the bears going to win out with a break to the downside? We'll have to see what happens. But no doubt about it, nice bull flag pattern occurring in an uptrend. So Friday should be pretty interesting. Next one here, we are down in the world of penny stocks, ticker symbol LCLP, and absolutely monster volume today. Not only from the volume perspective, but you look at the price action, and this thing has just really exploded. So moral of the story, if you're somebody that likes to play penny stocks, then this is one that, I would assume should be on your watch list here, as it's now sitting at some, very interesting dynamics here. So the first level from the support side of things is going to be about this area right here. And actually, let me change that because that was a former breakout point, which then classic example of resistance, then acting as support. But because that is a support, let me actually change that to green to represent more of a bullish dynamic of it. So right there is going to be the first part. And then in terms of areas of resistance, the level to watch, which is where the price is struggling at right now, right up there at the 5-cent mark. So let me change that to red for resistance. And you've seen this pattern before here in this very video, but we have the resistance, we have the support part of it, we have the explosion part, known as the pull portion. I'll put the golf hole down there, and we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. But the point here being is that huge volume and then nice consolidation volume right here as it went sideways. And now the big question mark going forward is just, can the price break up through that 5-cent mark? And if it can, just how much more explosive is it going to get? It might not get explosive, again, because there's no guarantees, but is it at least valid? Is it at least rational to think that it could get explosive with a break of that area, which it's currently struggled at? Absolutely. So keep an eye on the 5-cent mark, and we'll see if the price can eventually get the breakout of it or not on Friday. Next one here, ticker symbol TPTW, staying down in the world of penny stocks. And overall, everything is still perfectly fine, but there is a little bit of perspective that goes into that. What do I mean? Well, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought right there or you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes, well then yeah, from that angle, the chart looks really bad. But if you do care about the bigger picture point of things, then yes, even with the bigger pullback, the price does still have plenty of opportunities to chip away and build some higher bases. So that's what's really going to matter most, is just making sure that the price puts in those higher lows. And that first key level that you're going to want to see the price stay above is going to be the 4-cent mark. Because if you think about it, if the price were to go down to 4 cents and then bounce around like that, what would you still have from the overall sense? You'd still have a nice set of lows here. You'd have lows right there. You'd have these lows down there if you envision those as stair steps. You would still have stair steps going in the upwards direction. So from an overall standpoint, the chart would be perfectly fine. But again, fully admit that is a big function of perspective, because those that bought up there, they definitely would not be feeling very bullish if the price were to actually go all the way down to 4 cents. So I'm certainly making these comments from more so an overall standpoint of things. So overall, the trend is still bullish. The overall, the price is putting in higher highs and higher lows. So the trend is in the bulls' favor, and not just a question of does this current pullback ultimately going to result in a healthy pullback where it goes to new highs. We'll see how the next couple of days play out. Next one here, ticker symbol NAKD, and the trend continues. Very, very impressive trend. I mean, if you're looking for, if you're writing a book and saying, hey, I need an example to put in the uptrend chapter, I mean, here you go. Higher lows, higher highs. This is exactly what it's all about. and updates need to be made. I've been doing this one. I think this is now the third day in a row it's been in the top 10, but rightfully so with a uptrend like this. So in the newest areas of support to now keep an eye on, if there is any sort of pullback, going to be right there at the 70-cent mark. That was the previous breakout point. And again, just going back to foundational rules and charting, when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support, and that, behaved here. So you can see it was resistance, but then today when that resistance got back tested, just like that, acted as support. So 70 cents is going to be the newest area of support. And then as far as levels of resistance are concerned, nothing complicated at all. Just a question of, okay, well, where did the party finally stop today? And that was right up there at the 77-cent mark. So 77 cents will be public enemy number one. But really, resistance levels don't matter. What matters the most is what the chart has already been doing, and as I've already illustrated, and that's right here. Because if you stop and think about it, as long as the price keeps on putting these higher lows, what is going to eventually happen? Well, everything else is going to take care of itself, including breaking levels of resistance and putting in new highs. So at the end of the day, focus on building those higher bases, because that is by far what matters most. And that wraps up the top 10. Again, want to personally invite you to get signed up for the class. So if you like what you saw, you want to learn more about how charts should be used, how they should not be used, why they work, and just the power that they truly do bring to help make good decisions that can lead to building trading consistency, then the class will be this evening, Thursday, August 26th, 7 p.m. Eastern time. But again, if it's just too last second and you had other plans, or like I said, maybe you're watching this Friday morning and the class has already happened, then just drop me an email right there, clay@claytrader.com, and I will send you the recording of it, because it will be recorded live. But again, if you can make it live, then definitely get signed up. I would love to see you this evening and talk all about charts and a whole lot more. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format and you want me to keep making these videos, then please communicate that to me by doing two easy things. Hit the like button, leave a basic comment. Could be a smiley face, could be the number one, but by hitting the like button and leaving a basic comment, that communicates to me that these videos are worth the time and effort to do. As long as I know people are enjoying them, then I have no problem at all putting them together. But like I said, I just need your help in the communication department by letting me know whether or not you enjoy these. So hit the like button and then leave a basic comment below. And again, get signed up for the class, or just drop me an email and I will gladly send you a recording after the class has been recorded and has taken place. But everybody take care. Have a good one.